So yesterday I had 5 minutes downtime in between lessons, and I thought I'm just going to hit a few shots myself, and I'll look at a couple of things, and I thought I'd share the image that's on the screen just now. And I was expecting, I suppose I was expecting a bit of abuse from people for posture and basically just general abuses, and a couple of my regular customers duly obliged. But I was interested that the feedback when I asked spot the difference between the two shots, nobody actually picked up on the change that I was deliberately making. And some have highlighted a couple of things which maybe happened and maybe didn't. So effectively on the left hand side here we had me hitting my 5 wood yesterday, and at the moment I've been fighting a bit of a block to a sort of a pull to the left, so a kind of pull hook kind of shot going on. And then on the right hand side I'd made one change which was basically just to try and mitigate that, and all I changed was I'd weakened my grip. The interesting thing is that consistently from people I got the feedback that they thought that I had more weight on my left hand side, and I think it's worthwhile noticing this. So one of the reasons that I was looking to try and change my grip was I felt that my right shoulder was getting a little bit too low relative to my left, and it was basically kind of almost encouraging me to A, rotate my hands a little bit too much through impact, but also B, to swing round my body a little bit too much. So in effect, by weakening the grips, you can see the V form between my thumb and forefinger pointing somewhere in between my shoulder and my chin, as opposed to kind of almost up the outside of my shoulder here. By changing that, my shoulders now are a little bit more level. Not totally level, they're never going to be totally level because my left hand's higher up in the grip, but it gives the impression that my weight's a little bit more loaded onto the left hand side, which isn't something that I was doing, it's just a visual thing. The consequence was that I found I was able to square the club face up better. I was able to get the middle of the club head, which as some people will tell you is a novelty for me. Club head speed's gone up ever so slightly, but more significantly ball speed and carry's gone up. So the reason for doing the video today was very much just to highlight that, because quite frequently when we get people into the studio, they'll have an idea, someone will have said to them, oh, I've seen this, or if you're doing that, you're doing the next thing. Just be careful where you go with that, because I've changed how my shoulder setup is, but without changing it, if that makes any sense. It's not something I was trying to change massively, it was something that has occurred as a result of doing something else and as a result of fixing a fault. So people thought that I've put more weight on the left hand side, I haven't done. So oftentimes when people come in for a lesson, they tell me that they're changing things at the top of the backswing or during the swing because their friend or has seen this or they've heard this on YouTube. For me personally, one of the key parts of my job is finding out what the fault is. We see lots of symptoms, but ultimately we want to treat the fault. If we can treat the fault, then the symptoms disappear of their own volition, as opposed to you trying to constantly work on treating the symptom. I think that's folly. I think that way madness lies. It's certainly something worthwhile thinking about. If you have that kind of thing going on in your own game just now and you've got lots of questions in your head and not an awful lot of answers, then pick up the phone, book yourself in, and we'll happily take a look. Cheers.